want to just say I'm honored to be here. Thanks for always thinking of me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's always great to connect with you and to collaborate. That's one of the key pillars of success. And I've always said number one is mindset. Number two is how you spend your time. Number three is who you spend your time with the collaboration. And then number four is just taking massive focused action. So, all right, all right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? All right, all right. So, Andrew, if you could go ahead and get this party started, if you could share a little bit about yourself, and let's just jump right into the content today. Finish this year strong.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm very excited and honored to be here. As always, some of you I may have seen on this call before, and I'm always honored to work with Tom and his team. So thanks, Tom, for having me here. I've been in the business for about 2 decades. I'm an icon producer with EXP. I'm also a builder with EXP, so it's a big part of my business. And, over the last decade, I've helped build teams, structure teams, and help agents with production, as well as continuing my own team production and in business. So I'm honored to be here today. I'm excited to share and to talk and to also listen to you guys. How many of you guys got to see Verl Workman yesterday?
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and start. Basically, he started off with business planning. He started off with the foundational fundamentals of our why and why we want to do real estate, why we want to succeed, and why we want those goals. He went around the room and asked different agents how much they wanted, what their goal was and why they wanted it and why that was important to them and what that meant to them, to just really ingrain that. And then he just did an amazing step-by-step process to share and to show everyone how they can reach and achieve that goal. And one cool, we all need 4 pillars in our business. So I go to the core 4. Number 1 is database sphere of influence. Number 2 is open house. Number 3 is geographic farm. And then number 4 is online and outbound marketing through, all the above, right? So, but he said, get one down that's going to give you 100% of your annual goal. So get one, if it's database for influence, build that till if your goal is 250 grand a year, build that so it's going to achieve the 250. So those are a couple of my nuggets. So anybody else that was there that let's jump in and share rapid fire.
Well, listen, I want to just kind of touch on some of those things, Tom, because you brought up some really good points. Finding your why. Oftentimes we talk about, our why. Well, why do you want to be in real estate? Well, I want to make a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money. Why do you want to make a lot of money, right? What does that mean to you? Quantify what a lot of money is. And not just, I want to make a lot of money, but what does it mean? When we really attach a deeper sense of emotion, when we attach our heart into our why, is when it really becomes real, right? I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people tell me that they want to do this, they want to do that. And when I ask them why, it's always very surface. And I think without having, a coach or somebody in front of you pressing, I think that we can all sit with ourselves for some time and really establish our why. What does it mean? And I can be honest with you, when I sit back and I look at my why, what it is that I do, why I do what I do, it goes very deep. It's beyond a financial number or beyond a financial goal. I have 2 children. The goal was for me to always be able to provide them a lifestyle that I did not have. And then we can go deeper with that why. Well, why? And sometimes those whys go so deep that it invokes pain and emotion, right? It invokes some deeper feelings that we have within us that connect that why with what we're doing. And that's really where the glue is. And that's really what keeps us on focus, is bringing ourselves back to that why. So thank you for sharing that, Tom. And the other point is so real with, establishing a leg of your business. And 18 years ago, this was said to me, a chair cannot sit on one leg. You cannot have a stable chair and just have one leg of a chair. It needs those 4 pillars. But in order to focus and to really, really establish yourself in one specific area, I'll tell you, I really started to get into real estate when the only people that had listings were guys like Tom Daves. If you weren't an REO guy, if you didn't have those connections with the banks, I saw this man's face everywhere, and everything was in default until I really, really focused and I learned this thing called a short sale. And I became really, really, really good at it. But prior to that, let me just step back. I was calling agents when I had no listings and before I knew what a short sale was. And I was just asking them to do open houses. Like, can I do an open house? Can I hold an open house? Can I hold an open house? I started on Monday and Tuesday, and I fully focused on what I was going to do. And I had my open house established by Wednesday. Before I left home for the day, the open house was 100% secured by Wednesday. The marketing plan had been laid out. And then I was so purposeful, extremely purposeful. I didn't go to the open house to say, hi, my name is Andrew. Here's a flyer. Please feel free to look around. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to answer all your questions. No, I sold myself like I'd never sold anything in my life. Like my life depended on it. First year in doing this, I made, I think $175,000, somewhere right under the $200,000 mark. I consistently did it. I did it until I could teach it. And then once I started to focus on the short sales, that got me listings. And then I started to focus on, okay, I have listings. Now I can show people how to do open houses, and then teach them how to do it well. And so that was my second leg of my business. So online marketing wasn't what it was, back then. I think Facebook was for me, it was actually relatively new. So I had to learn social media. And since then, I've had a social media presence, mail marketing presence, and then the database. So the focus of one specific thing is key in really becoming a master of it and getting it down, like Tom says, to actually meet those goals, how important that really is. Does anybody, I'm open to you guys to chime in, to discuss your thoughts or questions. Does anyone have anything else to add to yesterday's seminar?
I do. Awesome. It was an amazing seminar. He was a super, super talker. What a coach. But it just, the part of changing your selling into service. So you are in service to your clients or anybody, and you're not selling to them, will change your whole mindset on it. I'm big on service, big on God, big on serving at your church, but to put it into your business practice, awesome. And I've always been like, help whoever you can, but to listen to his words of just literally changing that. You're not selling, you're serving your clients, you're giving them information, you're walking them through the process, you're valuable, and we need to learn and embrace our value. And I think that was a huge takeaway for me.
That is powerful, right? That is powerful, because when you start to become a servant of others, you actually build that value. People see that in you, right? You're a resource that they need, even if they don't need it right away. When somebody thinks of real estate, or when someone thinks of buying or selling a home, or when they do, you built that value up so that you can also get those referrals. So that is amazing. That's a great takeaway. Anyone else?
Yeah, I was there. I talked to Tom briefly. I ended up actually speaking to Verl directly, because he went through objections like, what's stopping you from succeeding? And I raised my hand and said, like, fear of rejection. And that's when he brought up like the absolute gem that she was mentioning, like, take it from service, or from selling to service. And then another one that I think was a takeaway, and was like, massive action. What me and another person, Adriana, ended up doing was going to the Regency in Sacramento and going to the hotel there and sitting there and filling out our whole like booklet, our business plan, what we wanted to do, our vision. And that was like super, eye-opening. It was just a good experience.
That's awesome. Thank you, Taylor, for sharing. I want to just add a little bit to that. I think that no matter who we are or how long we've been in the business, if we're consistently striving for more, there's always going to be a little bit of fear of rejection, right? Or a little bit of self-doubt. And one of the things that I truly believe in is sometimes when we feel those feelings and we feel that inner cynic trying to prevent us from where we want to be, we need to silence them, tell them to shut up and go away, and give ourselves massive positive affirmations, right? I'm amazing. I'm great. I'm strong. I'm convicted. People love me. People like me. People need me. They want to hear from me. And you just, money will flow through me easily and abundantly. I am successful. I am all that I want to be. And just really just change the mindset. But being able to recognize that inner cynic that we have and just go away, right? Just go away. Get out of here. It's not real. What you're telling me is this voice that's trying to keep me from my full potential. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was a huge gem. I love that positivity. Like, thank you. Yeah, that was great. Thank you for adding to that.
You got it, my man. Is anybody else?
I think you guys already covered a lot of the great nuggets, the 4 pillars. I love the serving, not selling. I think that resonates with a lot of folks. One other nugget that really stood with me, and I like it when, we get sold, there's a lot of BS of just sell yourself, this idea. And when the guy was like, we're self-sabotaging ourselves. Why? Because when you're trying to go home at night and talk to your kid, he said, your phone is ringing, and you need to be on the phone away from your, you know what I'm saying? So he was talking about the self-sabotage we do because we're scared of getting too busy. I've struggled with where are my hangups? It's not necessarily fear of rejection or phone reluctance, or it's like I get more and more business. My phone's going to be off the hook. I can't keep up and it's going to degrade the quality of life, and trying to push through that. I feel like one of my challenges that the answer, I keep searching for the answer, but it is leverage, it is systems, things like that. And so he's giving solutions, but he's also talking about the truth, right? If somebody says, I've had the other thing, it's like, well, live every day as if it's your last. And he says, well, I wouldn't be working if it's my last day, because I've heard that a lot. And I have too asked somebody recently in the real estate world, when they say live every day as your last, they said, well, this business is tough and you end up grinding for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. I'm not, that's not how I want to spend my last day on planet Earth, And so I struggle with that wisdom. So that's what I mean by sometimes the wisdom is counterintuitive. But if you can be real about it and go, okay, how do I push through that? Or what, and you talk about the why and getting the psychology behind it. But I think we have to ask ourselves, why do we self-sabotage? Where's the fear coming from? And sometimes they're just, real fears about what it realistically takes to do that kind of business,
Yeah. Well, I think, Eric, it sounds like, if you look at it, it's, you're being super busy. Do you want to do more? Are you content with what you're making? Are you content with where your business is? And if you are, and that's where you want to stay, if that's your comfort zone, then there's really not a need to continue to, as you say, self-sabotage or put yourself in a position. But if it's not, then it might be, somebody told me this, a long time ago, many, many years ago, because I was kind of in a situation where I was overwhelmed, I was working more than I really wanted to. And it does happen where you can diminish your service when you get too busy. But I'll tell you, I have had a full-time assistant on payroll for over 15 years. And at first, something like that is probably like, wow, how can I afford to cover somebody else's entire life, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30? That's what she works, and she's there every day. And you really find value in being able to have that. I wouldn't know what to do without her now. And it's never considered to be like this massive expense, because when you train your staff, when you train your assistant, you should really be able to double your income and work less. And so, I don't spend that type of time in the office. I'm very purposeful. I'm, on a long day, it might be 6 hours. I don't take calls unless I want to on the weekends or evenings. So, you get to a point where, you can set your parameters of your business by structuring it properly. Sometimes, like I said, when you take a look at that leap, it's like, whoa, right? It's like, I'm going to add another responsibility to myself, but it also will bring you to a point which you rise to the occasion and you can actually really grow your business that way.
Yeah. No, I appreciate your comments. I remember your point about time structuring, and it takes time to evolve. And no, I'm not satisfied my whole thing is I feel I'm working way too hard, making way too little money. When it's all said and done, I'm shocked how hard I work and then how much money just goes out to run the business, and, I have an office, so that adds to it, but it's the circumstances of this year as well. But I'm not giving up. I'm just trying to find solutions. That's why I get up every day and keep pushing forward. So I appreciate that. And I know that's one of the things that I need to cross, that threshold, getting assistance, getting a team, getting those things in place. So yeah, appreciate your sharing those process and that journey.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric.
So if I can add.
Go ahead.
Eric, if I can add something, I think one big differentiator for me was even before adding an assistant, just getting the strength to set boundaries with my clients. I was really pleasantly surprised to see how much actually clients thrive when there's more boundaries. Sometimes they're like kids, when I told somebody for the first time, like, look, Tuesday and Thursday in the afternoon, I'm unavailable. I play pickleball during those times. That's my me time. You're not going to reach me. And they express such a level of respect for me and knowing where my boundaries are that it completely surprised me.
That's great. No, it makes sense. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. I think Eric and we've talked about this before, right? You can't get a hold of your doctor. You can't get a hold of your attorney. You can't get a hold of your CPA. You're not able to reach those people because they hold themselves as professionals. And so they're not always going to be available just because you need them. And when you start to build that value within yourself, you'll be seen in that same way. And that's when you know that you really establish yourself within your clients, is that, they'll wait for that call back. So guys, I want to just jump into, thank you all for sharing. And I want to just jump into some things, a little bit a different gear here. We are definitely in the holiday season, and, a lot of agents find themselves looking at the end of the year and looking at the end of the year hey, it's Thanksgiving is a week away. Christmas is, 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks after that. Not a whole lot going on. I'm going to, kind of lay back, take the foot off the gas pedal until the holiday season over. But I just, if anybody is feeling that way, I just want to encourage you guys that this is where you need to get on the gas pedal and do a little speeding. If you're cruising right now at 55, 60 miles an hour, this is where you hammer down on that gas pedal, because anyone else that's sleeping right now or taking this holiday season off, you will absolutely have an advantage. Any type of marketing that you are going to do today, any type of appearances that you're going to be in front of your clients, contacts, the things, they are going to ignite your January, February, March. I see agents that are in January, they get through the holidays, they've got through the holidays, and their January sucks. There's no business, nothing going on. Then they look into February, they start looking at all the President's Days and all the things that are going on, all the holidays, Valentine's Day, and they're sitting there waiting until March and April. Their first quarter of the year is just shot. So what are we going to do to build 2024 and make 2024 an amazing year from day one in January? And that is right now. So I just want to share a few things that I just did. So I'll tell you, October the 15th, October the 15th, I went to M2 Winery. I basically shut down half the winery. I had some food catered, and I invited. I had about almost 100 of my clients. I didn't say past clients. They're clients. They will always be clients. Show up, and we had a great time. I hired a band. It was a lot of fun. I collaborated with my lender, and that has yielded me already 3 transactions. Right. So I spent the entire event. Again, it cost me about $5,500. I have 3 transactions, all listings. And one of my clients is looking to start doing some investing with some family members. And we have a meeting next Monday on that over Zoom with the lender. So it literally paid for itself times 100, right? But I have some ideas for you guys. One, gratitude phone calls. Going through your database, and as we are approaching the Thanksgiving holiday, why don't we spend some time calling and being thankful for those clients that have done business with us and that have allowed us to serve them over the last few years. It's a big deal. Those gratitude calls are huge. Let me step back for a second. At this October 15th event, when I put these people together, they started talking about how long they knew me and how many transactions they've done with me. And it almost seemed like this bragging rights amongst themselves. Like, I've known Andrew for 20 years. I've known him for 12. I've known he's done 4 transactions with me. Well, okay, well, he did too. And one of the things that they all walked away with was the fact that my business relationships were super important. They were not temporary and they were not transactional. The other big takeaway that I walked away with is how meaningful these touches are that I do over the years. I did not know, and I had never really heard from my client's perspective how important it was and how it made them feel when they got a birthday card from me, when they got a Thanksgiving card from me, when they got a Christmas card from me. Like, these guys were like, this guy's every year. He's like, it was like 17 years ago, we bought a house from him. And in the first Christmas, we got a Christmas card. And we're like, okay, this is cool. Andrew sent us a business card. A Christmas card. And then it happened again and again and again and again, and Thanksgiving and birthdays. And it just hasn't stopped happening. Right. And when you start to hear this stuff, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. All of these things that I'm doing and all of these things that I'm doing throughout the year continue to keep me in front of mind, and they actually appreciate it. I heard that from so many talking about the cards that they get. So a few little things here with the time that we have left, some ideas, right? A Santa Day, talk to your local lender, get somebody to do a Santa costume, invite your clients to a picture day with Santa, get your favorite photographer, and invite your people. Somebody's got an office that does loans or that has a title and escrow office or an insurance office somewhere, right? That you might be able to set up a Santa, invite your clients to say, hey, bring your kids, grandkids, and take a picture with Santa on me. And I'd love to see you guys and hand out some candy canes. Simple idea. Cards, right? Cards, Thanksgiving cards, Christmas cards, New Year's cards. Super important. Get somebody, get your teenage kid, get your niece or nephew, help you write these out, prepare a list, get them out. Gratitude phone calls, super, super important. Holiday socials. I'm going to call it a holiday social. I'm going to do one probably the first week of December. I'm just going to invite my A-list clients to meet me at Morton's. I'm going to do a no-host bar. I'm not encouraging anyone to drink due to the holidays. However, I'm going to do a no-host bar from somewhere around 5:30 to maybe 8 o'clock, 7:30. And for those that want to show, they'll show, right? Door knocking. Right? Take your business cards, take a small little candy cane, go knock on doors, hand out candy canes to kids. Really, really start to go deep into your database and outreach. Get those touches done. Do not stop, because the things that you are going to do today will make or break your January, February, and March. I promise you that. If you are resting, if you are on cruise control right now, it's going to affect your first quarter of the year. Start that first quarter of the year super, super strong. Be focused. Do not allow these holidays to slow you down or to keep you from that drive. It is very, very important. I'm telling you, over the years, I've had some amazing Decembers. My December looks amazing. My January looks amazing. I have listings, and I don't care if they sell or don't sell until they're going to sell at some point. And so, and that's just from an effort of staying completely on the throttle and not letting up. Like, I refuse to allow my Januaries and Februaries and Marches to be dismal. So right now, double down, get on the throttle, and drive forward. Does anyone want to share any ideas, some of the things that they're doing, add to anything that I just said? I'll open it up for the last few minutes.
Hey, Andrew, I'll share.
Sure.
So
thanks, Tracy.
Yeah. So I'm doubling down right now. I met with Don Yoakum about a month and a half ago, and I'm doing just like we were talking about earlier. It's so funny. I'm doing an open house every week, and I'm having it secured by Monday, if not the weekend before. Is there anything? And I'm like partnering with local restaurants to do a gift card at the end of each month. And I think I'm pretty good at my open houses, and I don't know. I think that's like part of my strong suit. But anything that you think I should also be doing besides that and selling like my life depends on it?
Yeah, so I really think that, okay, I'm going to just hear what I'm going to tell you is one of the number one things that I did when people came in, one, first being sincere, right? And really connecting with people on a very sincere level. The other thing that you can really, really do is really look at that house and become an expert. Like, really look at the school districts, focus on providing value and information. Take a look at, what are the highlights of the neighborhood, right? Look for that, know that. And really, when you start to bring value to people as an area expert, I think people appreciate that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing them in my local farm. And I do pre-walkthroughs by Thursday or Friday to make sure there's nothing that the house needs done. I don't walk into any surprises on open house day, and make sure, everything's swept up and clean. No surprises in the bathroom, anything like that, or, needs a welcome mat out front.
Yeah, that's all really great. But what I'm talking about is really, that's all good for, making sure that the houses are tidy. But what I'm talking about is really getting making sure that you have and you're presenting valuable information so that you can become that person, that service that they would look at and say, hey, we'd like for her to service us in this decision-making process, right? She's very knowledgeable. Wow, I can't believe how much she knew. Asking questions, probing questions, really get into them, get into the individual, find out what it is they're doing, how long they've been doing it, why they're doing it, and really connecting on that level has probably been one of the biggest forms of success that I've had. I really fully believe, and I've displayed this to dozens and dozens of agents over the years. I can walk into an open house. It could be your open house. I could stand there with you, and I could walk out with a buyer transaction. I do not believe anything other than that. I fully believe that. And it's just that level of connection to engage at a high level and also bring value while you're there. So I hope that helps.
Hi, good morning. Good to see everybody. Hey, I love what you said about the letters, because every year I send out letters, usually in October, early November, to happy holidays and things like that. And I cannot believe over the years, even whenever I do my client events here at the house, because I love having everybody over, they all talk about those letters. They're like, nobody ever sends letters like you do. We absolutely love it. And they stay connected. They know about the market. And the same thing I do for the farms that I have 5 farms that I work out here. And I send out pretty much the same thing. Happy holidays to my local neighbors here. And I cannot believe the response. They absolutely love getting it. People don't just randomly send happy holiday cards, but everybody really likes it. Everything you said is so true.
Thanks, Kim. Thank you. I'm glad it's working out for you. Well, hey guys, our time is, we come to the end of the meeting, and I just want to say, thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much for being, on this call. Tom, as always, thank you for having me. And really, guys, I just really encourage you guys to, throttle down during these holiday seasons. Continue to enjoy the holidays, but throttle down on your business. so that you can have the January, February, and March. That first quarter is going to be exactly what you want. And so thank you all for being here. Tom, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
One thing to say.
Andrew, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And like I always say, the market share that you gained in the last quarter of the year, you'll never lose. And the market share you lose, you'll never gain. So now you got your inspiration, time to put it in a perspiration. By the way, there is no Freedom Friday next week. Enjoy your family. We are so thankful and grateful for so many things. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. No Freedom Friday next week. And there's no Wednesday Atomic Habits. So have a great Thanksgiving. Love you all. Let me know if you need anything. Thanks, Andrew. Have a good day. See ya.
Take care, guys.
Bye now.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Tom.
You got it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.